Hey, what's up, guys? We're back at again with the new most annoying deck in Clash Royale. Usually, your opponent will always try to defend a Spear Goblin hut. When you drop it in the middle, they're going to try to snipe it with either a Fly Machine or a Baby Dragon. This time, things are different. Our Mega Minion will be our bodyguard and our savior. It's going to make sure that you keep your Spear Goblin hut safe, forcing it out of poison, so then they have no counter to the graveyard. So let's go jump straight to some games and assert some dominance. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on any of the daily videos. And a huge thank you to everyone that's using credit code SirTag. All money made from credit code SirTag greatly improves the editing and allows me to still upload daily videos on the channel. So thank you guys so much for supporting me and making it all possible. All right, guys, so we got a game here. First things first, you guys already know, if you got your Goblin Hut, you are obligated by contract to drop it as the very first play. And the best part about this deck compared to traditional graveyard decks, most of the time, you just have to let your Spear Goblin Hut die. But because we've got the Mega Minion, we can protect it. So that allows us to be infinitely more annoying. We have risen to One Punch Man levels of just dominance. It's so crazy how strong this deck can be if you keep the Spear Goblin Huts alive, and then they're having to poison it because you can keep, dropping Mega Minions, and you're like guarding it with the best bodyguard ever. And then because they get so annoyed, they poison, and then they have no counter to the graveyard because the poison's out of cycle. It's a vicious cycle, guys, quite literally. So we're going to go for a Barbarille here, and we can poison if he wants to go for a Mother Witch, but I don't think he's able to. Look at that, guys. We just did so much damage. What the heck? Are we playing against another graveyard deck, and we're showing why our graveyard deck is boss? It is literally the King Kong of all the decks. Oh, wow. Okay, not going to be graveyard. Not going to be graveyard. This man's whipping out a golem in the pack right now. He's like, you know what? Most of my Conrads... Most of my friends going for golem first play, and I'm going to try to be skillful here. And he's just like, you know what? I'm not going to drop it. And then when he starts losing, he's like, you know what? Screw it. Just drop it in the back. Hail Mary, baby. He starts raging, starts playing his heavy metal, and he just whips it out. That's completely what I envisioned right there. Throwing a Valkyrie on top of the Night Witch. If he's got Clone, it's also a really good matchup for us because we are easily able to go in for the poison on top of all of his spam, make sure that the Valkyrie sweeps up the Night Witch, and then the poison is way more clutch than Fireball. So if you ever play against Golem Clone, this is definitely the deck for you, especially because the annoying Fly Machine that usually, just destroys the Iceless or Tornado variation. It doesn't do so well when you got Mega Minion, let me tell you. So we're going to go for the Mega Minion again here, and I also need a Barbarille. We got to sacrifice the almighty Barb to the Barbarian. Oh my goodness, the Elite Barbarian is so much stronger than the regular Barbs. Bob needs a buff, and his brother, he needs a big fat nerf. So, I mean, this might be a bad decision. I'm just going to let the Baby Dragon do its thing. I'm not going to Graveyard here, because I feel like I wouldn't have Elixir to defend against this Golem push.
Hello there.
Wow, really? You're going to Ice Wizard. Okay, I'm fine with that. That's a very interesting interaction. Most Golem players just ignore everything. I guess he's not one of them. So the other thing that I can do is I can cycle back to another Goblin Hut. And he's going to cycle Lightning early on, but now he can't break through the second Goblin Hut because we have such a fast cycle we're even able to get back to another Valkyrie. And then he Barbarilles with the Elite Barbarians. There's a trifecta of Barbarians in the house. And it's a little bit scary, not going to lie. I think that Barbarian would get damage on my tower if I didn't go for that Mega Minion. And I don't like that. I really don't like having to cycle a Mega Minion there. So we will Baby D here, and I'll Graveyard as soon as he goes in for a Golem. This is going to be amazing, because we see the Ice Wizard, and then we just bypass. We're like, hey, Ice Wizard, see you later. See you later. Keep targeting the wrong thing. Latch onto the Baby Dragon for good reason. Oh my goodness. The Baby Dragon's going to lock onto the game, and we win the W. GG, well played, and peace out, buddy. That was a very epic ending. Baby Dragon staring at each other, and he couldn't stop me. His brother, noticed his other brother just demolished the tower right before his very eyes. All right, guys, so we got a game here, and this guy is immediately going to go for a Bandit. So you know what? We're going to counter it for a simple 1 Elixir. How about that, man? How do you feel about that big bad Bandit boy? Dying to simple skeletons. You were spent 3 Elixir on, and you were wasted. Wow, okay, so you know what? Glorious start to the game for me. I can immediately go in for a Graveyard if I... Yeah, I'm going to do it. I mean, we've got a Mega Minion counter pushing. I probably can poison bats.
Yeah, boy.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
No! Famous last words, guys. Look at all the piggies. Look at all those piggies coming straight for my booty. Oh, my goodness. Well, this is why you don't Graveyard first play. If you guys want to be a little bit better than me, you probably don't do those interactions. He zaps the tower, too. Oh, man. You know what? This is a deserved loss. I shouldn't have graveyarded there. We learn, we live, and we improve. So in the next game, we will bounce back and we will not do such an interaction. Okay, so we got to bounce back after that loss. It is against my religion to lose multiple games in a row, as you guys already know. So I'm going to go in for the skeletons here and have to hit them up with the barb barrel. Ooh, are we going to hit everyone? Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. So if you're playing against a log bait deck, your deck dominates in double or triple elixir against them. So just kind of chill, relax, kick it, and wait for them to make some mistakes. So if he doesn't have a Goblin Gang in cycle, we can rattle off a graveyard and it'll be very, very lucrative for me because Goblin Gang is the only bait card that can swarm the skeletons of the graveyard. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I could easily poison here, but I'd rather go for a Mega Minion and have a faster cycle and just keep up with his card cycle as well. Because then we can skeletons and get back to the barb barrel if that is what is happening here. Oh, wow, you are really feisty, man. You're dropping an aggressive Tesla at the river. You did not think I was going to have Baby Dragon. Oh, no, no, no. And that's the mistake that we're looking for. So as soon as he decides, hey, you know what the primetime play is? Go in and dropping a Goblin Gang. That means that he's not going to have it in cycle for countering the graveyard, and maybe we can get value on counter push here. So I could go for a graveyard, but I don't have enough elixir, so I can't do it. So just keep that in mind, guys. If your opponent doesn't have Goblin Gang and they're running the standard log bait deck, you have free reign to go in for the graveyard and only see like Princess and Log and cards that aren't going to give them phenomenal counter push, right? So that's what I like to do. And, you know, we just keep going for Goblin Hunts. We are the most annoying person on this planet, and we are going to hold that title to the bitter, bitter end, baby. So I can go for a Valkyrie here too. And there's something sadistic about smiling as your opponent's hopes and dreams come crumbling down. They're like, dude, I really hate you. And then you're smiling. You're like, yeah, I know. This is really fun. That's kind of what happens when you play this deck all day, every day. I can go for a Baby Dragon left-hand side, finish out the Princess, maybe even vibe with a Graveyard and a Poison. But you don't want to go for Graveyards with this deck until you can successfully, you know, eradicate a Goblin Gang very, very quickly with a Poison. If I don't have Elixir, I'm not going to do it. But there's the Goblin Gang, so that means he doesn't have anything anymore. So if you go in for, you know, let's just say a Goblin Barrel, well, we have enough Elixir for the Barb Barrel. We don't have to worry about it. Where's your Goblin Gang? Dude, we looked left, we looked right, and we saw no Goblin Gang left in sight. And pretty soon, no tower left in sight too. This is going to be awesome. What are you going to do, man? Are you going to go for a Rocket Cycle? Like, we're just going to try to drop our Baby Dragons up a little bit higher, so that's not going to happen. We can Valkyrie to get counter push here. We're going to be able to swerve those Goblins. It takes some damage, but it's better because now we get the counter push good vibes. We can easily poison on the Goblin Gang. That will probably be dropped. Let's go. We're making the predictions. We're making the plays because we know the deck. We've played his deck a million times, and we know what he has to do at this point. Dropping the Goblin Huts a little bit lower allows us to accumulate more Spear Goblins than we would traditionally be able to do. And I want a Baby Dragon on the Princesses. I don't think that we're going to be able to kill the other one, but the Valkyrie's out of cycle, so maybe we are able to. There's a chance. We're forcing out an Ice Spirit. This is looking really good. So we can Skeletons here. We can go in for the Valkyrie. We kill all of that, and we get counter push. So I'm saving my Barb Barrel. You guys might think I'm an absolute idiot for doing this, but it's so much more fun to do it this way. So the Goblin Gang's coming down. We're like, yo, thank you yet again. Hallelujah for giving me that value, brother. So every single time that we get poison chip damage, he's like, wait, I got to start Rocket Cycle to come back up. And we're like, no, dude, you're going to blast off like Team Rocket from Pokemon. You're never going to come back in this one.
We're blasting off again!
So he needs to come real fast and furious with those rockets if he wants to come back in this game. But I think that is going to be an uphill battle for him. So we're going to wait for the Valkyrie to get tanked for. And then we can get the Mega Minion on top of the Tesla, and then the Baby Dragon stays alive, and then we can start to poison on top of the Princess. So I usually don't do this, but I think going in for a Graveyard into that would just be absolutely insane. That would just be so insane. We can't do that to ourselves. Make him go in for a Goblin Gang, hit him up with a Barb Barrel on top of that, and we go for Skeletons in case we miss, but we don't miss. We never miss. Why was a non-believer in myself there, guys? What's wrong with me? You miss every single shot that you don't take, and I really didn't take the shot there. So I'm going to Graveyard, and I can easily poison on top of the Princess. I don't think that he's going to go in for a Goblin Gang, so we're able to poison the Princess and the Tesla and get more value that way, instead of just poisoning the Valkyrie. Dude, okay, this is what you needed to do like 10 years ago. Now you start to Rocket Cycle me? Okay, I see how it is, brother from another mother. You needed to do this literally 10 years ago. You've grown old and wise with your age in this game, but it's a little bit too late, bro. It's like you grow up and you realize how you're supposed to do taxes and you've been doing it all wrong your entire life, and then the IRS comes and finds you and they're like,
you idiot, you better pay for your mistake.
and that's kind of what happened to him. He paid with this entire tower and he had no elixir left over for us. We just collected everything he had there. So we got a game here, guys. We're gonna be dropping our Goblin Hunt to kick open the game, and we're gonna see what's up. If you want to go for Rail Ghost and Zap, I can immediately expect that you're gonna have a P.E.K.K.A deck. you have to have the P.E.K.K.A deck. There's no way that you have those two cards and you're not running P.E.K.K.A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to graveyard, since the Mega Minion and the Spear Goblin Hut is going to give us a lot of value. And what? You have Hunter? Are you kidding me right now? Is this a different deck? Is this man really just doing this to me so that I get the deck wrong? That has to be the reasoning. So you could be running 3 Musketeers, I guess, but it's just not very common. It's definitely not that common to see Royale Ghost and then Zap and then seeing a completely different deck. It's weird. It's baffling to me. So no Barbarrel and Cycle for him, so we'll see what he does. Maybe Royale Ghost or Zap. Okay, Zap it is. So our deck is really nice into anyone that's running 3 Musketeers because we have a faster cycle with the Valkyrie, so we can always get back to it if we need to. And if you want a Royale Ghost dummy, be my guest. Our Valkyrie's going to come down, and you're going to Pigs. Oh, no. If only the Valkyrie was able to touch the Piggies, but the Piggies are in safety. Oh, my goodness. At least 2 of the Piggies get hit by the big swirly Axe of Justice. And I can follow up with a Barbarrel in the middle, so then the Hunter locks onto that instead of our tower, please. Thank you for listening to me. I still think that this Hunter is going to put in a lot of pain to our tower, but as long as it gets less hits, I'm okay with it. Also, Baby Dragon, why would you target the Ice Golem for no good reason? You knew that the Ice Golem was going to die, or maybe you're just too small brain Brian to never figure that out. You're never big brain Brian. So he's going to zap me, and that's fine. So we figured out that we're going to be able to go same lane as him if he consistently allows us to make those transactions. I can go for another Goblin Hut in the left-hand side or the right, depending on where he wants to spam. And I expect him to go in the left-hand side just because he's got more damage there. So let's go and, you know, force him to go in the right-hand lane with his Rail Hogs that he definitely doesn't want to drop. What are you going to do? So we can Skeleton Surround on top of that. Make sure that the Rail Ghost does not target the Spear Goblin Hut for quite a while. Oh, Steven! Steven, you took all the damage for no good reason. I'm sorry, man. I can't believe Steven the Spear Goblin just got assassinated like that. That was brutal. So there's been a lot of very funky interactions here, and I'm excited to unpack what we can get here. If you want to go in and cycle more stuff, we can just go for a Valkyrie and a Graveyard on the other side. The Musketeer will eventually die, and you're not crossing. Yeah, dude, you're not stopping the Valkyrie from crossing the river. You just had Elite Barbarians all along. Okay, is that the tactic here? I feel like Elite Barbarians are really strong in the meta, but they're not good against Graveyard, so very solid stuff for us. Baby Dragon's going to be able to eliminate everything. I can immediately go in for a Goblin Hut to go and pull the rest of the Royal Ghost, easily follow up with a Mega Minion and a Barbarrel to clean that all up. So, as you guys are seeing, this deck is exceptionally solid on defense against bridge spammers. This man decided to drop everything he possibly could, and it still wasn't enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately go in for our Graveyard with the Baby Dragon, and I think this will be enough to win us the game. He's not going to have a good answer to that because he's only got 1 Musketeer, and we can poison on top of the Musketeer too. If I just Barbarrel on top of the 2 Muskies, this is going to be a ridiculous amount of damage with the Valkyrie. Or I could just Barbarrel after one of the Musketeer locks on, and that's fine too. The Valkyrie is going to clean house, as we said. GG, well played and peace out. And if you guys notice the placement of the Barbarrel, we let 1 Musketeer lock on, and that Barbarrel is going to clean up with only a little bit of damage there. All right, guys. So straight out of the gate, you already know we're dropping our Goblin Hut. That is the play. That is the vibe. And it's so annoying for our opponents. Even if they go for a Royal Giant, I'm pretty sure it gets pulled by that Goblin Hut. That Goblin Hut is our savior. And I can go for Skeletons now because he's going to log. And then the Valkyrie. Tanks for the little Larrys. Little Larrys in the back putting in the work. And unfortunately for us, we do see Firecracker right now. So, you know, the good thing about this is the fact that the Firecracker is going in the other side where he has got no damage whatsoever. And then the fact that he doesn't have a phenomenal Graveyard answer so far, maybe we can just hit him up with the Graveyard. A lot of times this works out more times than you guys would anticipate. He has to go for a Heal Spirit, a Tesla, and a Royal Ghost. Only 3 of that Elixir counter pushes with the Royal Ghost. Everything else just chills on his side of the map. So I'm liking how this is looking right now. I do need to go in for a Barbarrel to clean up the rest of the Royal Ghost, but, you know, he's going to Rail Giant at the river soon. Yeah, there it is. I felt it. I felt it, guys! How do I stop this madman? So the good thing is he's got no Heal Spirit, so that means that the Skeletons are able to have a Sanctuary on top of the Royal Giant and give us a lot of damage that we need. Unfortunately, we are down a little bit, so got a lot of work with the RG at the river, and yeah, you're going to be able to protect the Firecracker for a while. But the Baby Dragon still walks on a tower, so I got to wonder, was it worth it for him to do that or not? So we can go in for a Valkyrie. It's going to be able to crucify the rest of that Firecracker. And I could go for a really aggressive Graveyard here. I think it most likely will be the play, because he has to go for Tesla and then something else. Or I guess you Royal Giants just trade towers with me. What are you doing, man? What's going on with your big brain? You've got no answer to the Graveyard sauce, but I also don't have any answer to the Royal Giant. So we're doing a trade here, and I think we will come out on top. We've got Bob the Barbarian and his whole horde of skeleton brothers. And you know what? All of his barbarians that die in his horde get turned into skeletons, and they're like, "We will avenge you, Bob!" It works out so well. Okay, so I obviously need to go in for a Valkyrie here. Our deck works really well against flying machines or graveyard or golem players that need an air card to, you know, cross the river. But when we play against Royal Giant, you know, we only really win this specifically because we have a phenomenal defense of going in for a Goblin Hut and then hitting him up with a Heal Spirit and other stuff like that. So we just don't want those Goblins to die. We want to consistently get counter push, and our win condition is the real thing that allows us to win the game because he just doesn't have an answer to it. When we go for a Graveyard, it's like, oh, okay, I guess I go in for a Tesla, or maybe I go for a Firecracker and try to get some stuffed splash damage that way, but it's really difficult for this man to find his place in this game. So he went in for a log. That means that we can guarantee value with a Goblin Hut and then hit him up with the poison if we need to. Yeah, I'm going to poison just because it's going to give us enough damage. It's worth it in the long run. We definitely don't want that Firecracker to consistently give him value. The Spear Goblins will eventually die, but the Mega Minion will give us enough value, and then Bard Barrel will pull back the RG. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play really aggressive with another Graveyard. I got to go in fast. I got to go in furious, and it has to work out. Oh, this is not working. This is going to be a loss. I actually lost this game. There's no way unless this Goblin Hut gets down in time. Is the Goblin Hut going to get down in time and push back the Royal Giant? No way. That should not happen. We're actually still in this game. How is this still happening? Why is this so close? I am clenching so hard right now, guys. I can't even fib. I don't know what's going to happen anymore. So if the Mega Minion gets a hit, we win the game. We win the game. We win the game. No way! Marvin the Mega Minion asserting the dominance and allowing us to walk away with the closest game I've ever had in my life. That felt really good, though. I'm so happy we could win that. Hey, and after that W, we are 8,881 in the world. It would be so much better to have another 8 there instead of a 1. Can we just cross that out and put an 8? I know we're trying to be a little bit lower ranked, but it just feels better. You know, the symmetry of all 8s. It's 100% a look. Don't forget to support the channel with a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe for more content just like this, and I'll see you in the next one.